Antimony. Antimony is a silvery, brittle metal once used in cosmetics, medicines, and even medieval makeup. In ancient Egypt and the Middle Ages, powdered antimony sulfide, known as kohl, was applied as eyeliner, unknowingly putting toxic metal near the eyes. Today, antimony compounds are used in flame retardants, textiles, and PET plastics. Exposure typically comes from contaminated drinking water or industrial emissions. According to the World Health Organization, long-term exposure can cause liver damage, heart issues, and gastrointestinal problems. Workers in smelting or glass manufacturing are especially at risk. Interestingly, antimony was once used as a vomiting agent in medicine, and people even reused solid antimony pills by retrieving them from waste, earning it the nickname everlasting pill. Uranium. Uranium is best known for powering nuclear reactors and weapons, but it's also a naturally occurring element found in soil, rocks, and groundwater. It's weakly radioactive and has a long half-life, meaning it remains in the environment for millions of years. Low-level exposure through drinking water can harm the kidneys, while inhaling uranium dust can damage the lungs. Communities near uranium mines, especially Native American reservations in the U.S., have reported higher rates of kidney disease and certain cancers. Historically, uranium salts were used to add a yellow-green glow to glassware and ceramics, known as Vaseline glass, which fluoresces under UV light. Though beautiful, this glass can emit small amounts of radiation. Arsenic. Arsenic is one of history's most notorious poisons. It naturally contaminates groundwater in parts of Bangladesh, India, and even the Philippines. Chronic exposure leads to skin lesions, darkening, and thickening of the skin, as well as cancers of the lung, bladder, and skin. What makes arsenic so dangerous is its invisibility. It's colorless, tasteless, and odorless. In small doses, it disrupts enzyme function and cell energy production. Rice tends to absorb more arsenic from soil than other crops, especially in flooded fields. In the Victorian era, arsenic was found in wallpapers, clothing dyes, and cosmetics, poisoning people slowly at home. The phrase inheritance powder came from its use in murder cases, as symptoms of poisoning mimicked natural illness. Beryllium. Beryllium is a lightweight but strong metal used in aerospace components, nuclear reactors, and X-ray windows because of its transparency to X-rays. However, inhaling even minute amounts of beryllium dust can cause chronic beryllium disease, CBD, an incurable lung condition marked by inflammation and scarring. Beryllium exposure mostly happens in industrial settings where alloys are machined or ground. The International Agency for Research on Cancer, IARC, classifies it as a Group 1 carcinogen, meaning it's known to cause cancer in humans. Fascinatingly, beryllium is rare on Earth but relatively abundant in the universe. It's produced in stars through cosmic ray spallation, earning it the title the space metal. Mercury. Mercury, also called quicksilver, is unique for being liquid at room temperature. It was once used in thermometers, fluorescent lamps, dental fillings, and even medicine, until its dangers became undeniable. Mercury vapor is easily inhaled and can damage the brain, kidneys, and nervous system. Methylmercury, a highly toxic form, builds up in fish and shellfish through bioaccumulation. The World Health Organization warns that frequent consumption of large fish like tuna, swordfish, or shark can lead to mercury poisoning. The worst case in history was the Minamata disaster in Japan during the 1950s, when mercury-contaminated wastewater poisoned thousands through seafood. Victims suffered severe neurological damage, a tragedy that changed global environmental policies. Cadmium. Cadmium is a soft, bluish metal found in rechargeable batteries, fertilizers, and cigarette smoke. It enters the body mainly through food grown in contaminated soil or inhalation from smoking. Cadmium accumulates in the kidneys, leading to kidney failure and bone weakening. In Japan's Toyama Prefecture, industrial pollution in the 1950s led to itai-itai disease, named for the painful cries of sufferers. Cadmium exposure caused severe bone pain, fractures, and kidney dysfunction. Even at low levels, cadmium exposure has been linked to hypertension and reproductive problems. The metal has a half-life in the human body of 10 to 30 years, meaning once absorbed, it stays with you for decades. Lead. Lead is one of the most well-known toxic elements and one of the most dangerous. Once widely used in paints, pipes, gasoline, and even cosmetics, it remains a global public health concern. Children are especially vulnerable. Lead interferes with brain development, causing learning disabilities, behavioral issues, and decreased IQ. There is no safe level of exposure, according to the CDC. Even small amounts can harm. Adults, when exposed, can lead to hypertension, infertility, and nervous system disorders. The ancient Romans unknowingly poisoned themselves with lead pipes and cookware. They even boiled wine in these lead vessels to sweeten it, a practice historians believe may have contributed to chronic lead poisoning among the elite. Aluminum. Aluminum is one of the most abundant metals in the Earth's crust and commonly used in cookware, foil, and packaging. Although less toxic than other metals, excessive exposure, especially from industrial dust or uncoated cookware, has raised concerns. While most dietary aluminum passes harmlessly through the digestive system, some studies suggest long-term accumulation could be linked to neurological disorders, including Alzheimer's disease, though evidence remains inconclusive. In acidic conditions, aluminum can leach into food, especially when cooking tomatoes or vinegar-based dishes in aluminum pots. Fun fact: in the 1800s, aluminum was so rare and valuable that Napoleon III reserved aluminum cutlery for his most honored guests, while others had to settle for gold. As we've seen, these toxic elements can silently enter our lives through food, water, air, or everyday products. Understanding their sources and effects is the first step in protecting ourselves. While we can't avoid exposure entirely, awareness helps us make smarter choices, like checking for lead-free paint, avoiding contaminated seafood, and using safer household materials. If you're curious about your body's mineral balance or possible heavy metal exposure, consider getting a hair tissue mineral analysis test. It's a non-invasive way to see what your body might be storing. Knowledge is power, and the more we understand the chemistry of life and toxicity, the healthier we can be.